भन्दा अगाडि चाहिँ before 8 weeks we only say it is embryo. After 8 weeks we say it is fetus. Okay, सुनिरहेछ?
सुनिरहेछ
Yes,
म्याम।
ma'am.
So length of the fetus. Basically in early trimester, length of the fetus is measured in ultrasound by crown rump length, and later on it is by crown heel length. Okay, so gestational age. So gestational age of the fetus is always calculated from the lady's last menstrual period. Okay, that will तपाईहरुलाई यो सबै प्राक्टिकली कसरी लास्ट मेन्स्ट्रुअल पिरियडबाट क्याल्कुलेट गरेर निकाल्ने भनेर तपाईहरुको यो प्राक्टिकल क्लासमा सिकाउँछ यो पछि है। सो बेसिकली जेस्टेसनल एज चाहिँ हामीले फिटस कति एजको भयो भनेर हामीले हेर्नलाई चाहिँ हामीले पेशेन्टको लास्ट मेन्स्ट्रुअल पिरियडबाट चाहिँ फिटसको जेस्टेसनल एज निकाल्ने है। नाउ growth of the fetus. So normal fetal growth is basically characterized by initially by supercellular hyperplasia पहिला है। There's a tissue changes, hyperplasia भइराख्छ, त्यसपछि the tissue become big, hypertrophy, followed by hyperplasia and hypertrophy. Initially it is only hyperplasia, then it is hyperplasia and hypertrophy, and later on at the end it is only hypertrophy. So the growth of the fetus is in that phase. It is basically controlled by insulin-like growth factor, growth hormone, and insulin. So physiological factor like race means अब कुनै पनि एउटा ethnic group को fetus चाहिँ large group जस्तै अब the female from Himalayan hilly region को चाहिँ fetus हरुको they are quite big than the fetus of pregnant lady from Tarai. The fetus is small, so that is like race हैन, उनीहरुको त्यस्तो भयो। Sex मा चाहिँ male baby are quite heavier than female baby. Okay, so parents को height and weight is also very important to determine the fetal weight. Birth order, basically the second baby is always bigger than the first baby, so birth order by 200 to 500 grams. So socioeconomic factors like if the patient is very poor and there's nutritional deficiency, if the woman is alcoholic and smoker, that also affect the fetal weight. Now fetal physiology we'll start from the nutrition. How does the fetus get the nutrition from and from where? Initially they get nutrition from the cytoplasm and the cytoplasmic fluid and uterine and tubal secretion. So histotrophic transfer means from the cell when the nidation, when it is implanted, the nutrition is eroded from decidua. Decidua is the lining endometrial lining of the uterus. Okay, when the lady get pregnant, the endometrium is called decidua. So when the implantation occur in decidua, the blood vessels is eroded. So later on, after nidation, so nutrition is derived from the stagnant maternal blood in trophoblastic lacunae. Trophoblastic lacunae means when the decidua is eroded by a cytotrophoblastic and syncytotrophoblastic cells, the maternal blood vessels are exposed. So there is a blood vessels. When it is exposed, there is a pouch of lacunae formation occur in which there is a stagnant blood is present, so that is called lacunae. So that is where it gets its nutrition from. So hematotrophic is establishment of fetal circulation, which is basically on 3rd week onward. Okay, so the nutrition is obtained from a fetal circulation, establishment of fetal circulation by active or passive circulation. So fetal blood, hematopoiesis. Okay, so embryonic phase, the hematopoiesis occur in yolk sac by 14 day means 2 weeks. Initially the hematopoiesis occur in yolk sac only. So you say ekdam MCQs ma these things are very much asked in MCQs है, तपाईहरुले याद गर्नुपर्छ. Initially in fetus hematopoiesis occur in yolk sac and later in liver and very much later in bone marrow. Okay, in fetal period the first hematopoiesis occur in yolk sac and then in liver and then bone marrow. So during the first half, hemoglobin is of fetal type. There is adult and fetal type hemoglobin. So fetus ko chahi, it is fetal type mostly 70 to 80%. So why it is fetal hemoglobin is why it is like present in fetus banda, it has a greater affinity to oxygen, okay, than compared to adult hemoglobin, and it is resistant to alkali. So between 16 to 12 months after the birth, the fetal hemoglobin is completely replaced by adult hemoglobin. So basically lifespan of 80 days fetal hemoglobin ko hai, fetal RBC ko chai kati bhayo 80 days, unlike ours 120 na. So basically you're resistant to alkali. So basically there are conditions like RH negative pregnancy मा अब the fetal alloimmunization भएको छ कि छैन भनेर हेर्ने बेलामा चाहिँ we'll put alkali in the cell. If it is resistant to alkali, then we'll see that it is a fetal cell भनेर यसरी differentiate गर्न मिल्छ के. So this resistant to alkali, this feature is very important in diagnosing whether it is a fetal blood or maternal blood. Like PV bleeding भएर कहिलेकाहीँ प्रेग्नेन्ट वुमनहरु पछि आउँदाखेरि फिटसबाट कहिलेकाहीँ भासा प्रिभिया भन्ने कन्डिसन हुन्छ जहाँ चाहिँ फिटलको ब्लड भेसल्स चाहिँ असमा सर्भाइकल असमा आएर बसिरहेको हुन्छ. सो त्यो ब्लिडिङ चाहिँ केबाट भएको, फिटसबाट भएको कि म्याटरनलबाट भएको भनेर डिफरेन्शिएट गर्दाखेरि त्यो ब्लडमा हामीले अल्कालाइन मिसायो भने चाहिँ इफ इट इज रेसिस्टेन्ट हैन, देयर इज नो घोस्टिङ, देन वी क्यान से इट इज फिटल सेल ब्लड. If it is not resistant to alkali, then we can say it is maternal blood. So एउटा त्यो पनि भयो. अनि अर्को चाहिँ क्लियरबेडको टेस्ट भन्छ हामीले. क्लियरबेडको टेस्टमा पनि हामीले यदि फेटोम्याटर्नल हेमरेज भन्छ, फिटसको सेल चाहिँ म्याटर्नल ब्लडमा गएको छ कि छैन अथवा गए पनि कति गएको छ टु कज एन एलुमिनाइजेसन भनेर हेर्नलाई चाहिँ हामीले त्यसमा अल्कलाई राखेर हेर्छ. अनि जुन चाहिँ सेल्स म्याटर्नल सेल चाहिँ इट इज not resistant to alkali, okay. So the fetal cell is resistant to alkali. So जुन सेल रेसिस्टेन्ट छ हामीले त्यसलाई काउन्ट गरेर कति चाहिँ फेटोम्याटर्नल हेमरेज भएको रहेछ भनेर हामीले त्यसरी क्याल्कुलेट गर्छ, जुन चाहिँ तपाईहरुलाई पछि पढाउँछ. यो चाहिँ RH नेगेटिभमा. सो द फिचर हामीले म्याटर्नल र फिटल हेमोग्लोबिन कसरी छुटाउने भनेर यो कति धेरै भोलि placenta is IgG, okay, for the passive immunity. IgM is fetal origin. Your fetus name origin bhako huncha, and it is important in diagnosis of intrauterine infection by doing a chordosynthesis. Right? And IgE is produced after the birth in response to infection. Now urinary system fetus ko ke huncha. Nephrons are active. Right? Nephrons are the primary unit of kidney. Right? So nephrons are active by the end of the first trimester. Nearly at term say 650 ml per day urine is produced, which is major source of amniotic fluid, and it is the major important in regulation of amniotic fluid, okay. So basically urine is kidney produce the urine more and normally at 20 weeks period of gestation. Now let's go to skin. Skin is covered. Skin initially it is covered by lanugo. Lanugo is a very thin hair, very thin colorless hair. Right? So initially it start developing at 16 weeks. So horny layer of epidermis is usually absent at 20 weeks. So what happens is like when it is absent, it also play important role in due to the epithelialization. It also play important role in before 20 weeks. It also play important role in that liquor regulation. Okay, and sebaceous gland is also present. And vernix caseosa is exfoliated skin and secretion of sebaceous gland smeared all over the skin near term. Basically, it is a whitish, creamy material which is all lather upon the fetus. So vernix caseosa is a term ma mata dekhincha. So if you have a preterm baby delivered, so त्यसमा vernix caseosa हुँदैन. So one of the criteria to distinguish or to say that the baby is term is that if there is presence of vernix caseosa, you can say that baby is term baby. क्लिनिकली डेलिभरी भएपछि क्लिनिकली हेर्दाखेरि सो बेसिकली प्रिटर्म बेबीहरूको चाहिँ स्किन चाहिँ शाइनी हुन्छ हैन थिन हुन्छ देयर इज एब्सेन्स अफ भर्निस केसियोसा दे आर नट ल्यादर अपन व्हाइटिश क्रीमी मटेरियल अल ओभर देम ओके सो प्रेजेन्स अफ भर्निस केसियोसा signifies the baby is term baby okay now gastrointestinal tract fetus can swallow at 12 weeks so what happens is like meconium bhaneko chai jun chai fetus the stool athwa the stool passes passed by fetus is appear in from 20 weeks till term it is uniformly distributed throughout the gut so what happens is like the uniformly distributed bhako huncha but it doesn't pass meconium intrauterine until the fetus is not in stress so what happens is like when the fetus is in stress due to hypoxia or due to prolonged hypoxia what happens is there will be a vagal stimulation you know vagal stimulation and the sphincter anal sphincter will be relaxed and there will be passes of meconium so passes of meconium is one of the cause for fetal distress aspiration of meconium will cause fetal morbidity so it is also one of the indication of cesarean section now let's go to respiratory system of fetus lungs are solid at early month. At 28 weeks, alveoli expand and it is lined by a cuboidal epithelium. Lungs surfactant like phospholipid phosphatidylcholine and phosphatidylglycerol appears. Surfactant is secreted by type 2 alveolar cells and this surfactant lowers the surface tension of the lungs. So हिजो पनि यो कुरा गरेथे है lungs को maturity हेर्नु चाहिँ lecithin sphingomyelin in Liker amini चाहिँ maturity of fetal lungs लाई signify गर्छ भनेर अनि it is always already triggered by a fetal cortisol so normal delivery मा चाहिँ fetal due to the stress fetal cortisol is high it always trigger or augment the surfactant synthesis and lung maturity is more achieved at 34 weeks period of gestation. Now we go to fetal circulation. This is the picture showing fetal circulation. So basically the fetus get it blood, it oxygenated, highly oxygenated blood from the placenta. And this is the placenta, okay? This is the fetal side, this is maternal side. Fetal side is shiny and maternal side is spongy and this is the umbilical okay and it is attached to the umbilical cord okay this is the umbilical cord okay so so umbilical vein this is the umbilical vein see this is the umbilical vein which carry the highly oxygenated blood from placenta to the fetus now how does it works let's go so the umbilical vein okay the picture I showed this is the umbilical vein carry the 80% of oxygenated blood from placenta and in the liver it gives off so it goes to the liver okay and it goes to the liver and it gets umbilical vein gets divided okay it gets divided in the liver it gives off branch to left lobe of the liver and receive the deoxygenated blood of the liver and in the liver it gets divided and form ductus venosus okay which enter the inferior vena cava and enter the right atrium okay see the picture this is the ductus venosus through which it enters the right atrium okay so in right atrium so it is carrying now 75% of oxygenated blood because it was transferred to the liver and in liver it also carried the deoxygenated blood from the liver and through inferior vena cava it entered the right atrium directly so in right atrium there is 75% of oxygenated blood and is directed to the foramen oval by valve of inferior vena cava so in inferior vena cava there is a valve called Christina dividens which directly passes it to left atrium see the picture okay from here it directly passes it to left atrium in right so remaining 25% of oxygen blood which reach the right atrium via inferior and superior vena cava pass through the tricuspid opening in right ventricle So during ventricle systole, the ventricle blood pumped into ascending an arc of aorta and is distributed their branch for head, heart, head, neck, and brain. So you say arc of aorta, but it's it goes to head, okay? Major organs ma jance yo mathi chai na. Yeah, tricuspid aorta, but okay. So the right ventricle blood with low oxygen content is discharged into pulmonary trunk. So when it goes to pulmonary trunk, normally there is a pulmonary blood flow, but fetus ko ke huncha bhane pulmonary arteries ma is high resistant. Lungs is all filled with water, so it is highly resistant. And so due to resistant pulmonary arteries is very high, the main portion of blood is directly pumped through ductus arteriosus. So lungs ma nabhaikana to lungs ma najana paikana, there is direct connection between descending aorta, descending aorta and right ventricle, through which it directly bypass the descending aorta, bypassing the lungs. Lungs ma chai ke huncha ni high resistant bhako karanle garda त्यो blood flow lungs ma पुग्दैन. So due to the high resistance, the blood is directly passed through the ductus arteriosus into descending aorta, bypassing the lungs, through the ductus arteriosus. So ductus arteriosus is fetal life ma matra huncha. So पछि चाहिँ यो चाहिँ अब prostaglandin initially prostaglandin ले गर्दा यो initial closure भयो भने चाहिँ कस्तो हुन्छ भने कहिलेकाहीँ fetal कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ यो ductus arteriosus क्लोज भयो भने चाहिँ जस्तै फिटसमा लाइकरहरु कम हुने, फिटस एब्नर्मालिटी हुन जाने त्यस्तो चान्सेसहरु हुन्छ. So prostaglandin releasing कुनै पनि मेडिसिन हामीले about 70% of cardiac output is pumped into descending aorta. So deoxygenated blood leaves the body by the way of two umbilical arteries to reach the placenta. So केले चाहिँ blood लगिरहेछ त. So यो deoxygenated blood लिएर आयो. So umbilical arteries ले चाहिँ यो चाहिँ अब लिएर गयो हैन. umbilical arteries ले चाहिँ यो back flow गरेर फेरि प्लासेन्टा मा जान्छ, फेरि त्यो अक्सिजन चाहिने लिन्छ, फेरि umbilical vein हुँदै जान्छ, लिभर मा जान्छ, लिभरबाट deoxygenated blood लिन्छ, त्यसपछि राइट आर्ट्रियम मा जान्छ, राइट आर्ट्रियम बाट डाइरेक्ट बाइपास गरेर माथि चाहिने के रे माथि नेक हेड लाई सप्लाई गर्छ, बाकी चाहिँ भेन्ट्रिकल मा जान्छ, भेन्ट्रिकल बाट लंग्स मा जाँदा लंग्स ले बाइपास गरेर डक्टस आर्टरियस थ्रु मा डाइरेक्ट डिसेन्डिङ आउटा मा जान्छ, डिसेन्डिङ आउटा बाट अरु मेजर अर्गान जस्तै अर्गान किडनीहरु बाट सबै डिओक्सिजनेटेड ब्लड लिएर चाहिने अलिअलि सप्लाई गर्छ, फेरि डिओक्सिजनेटेड ब्लड लिएर अम्बिलिकल आर्टरिज हुँदै फेरि प्लासेन्टा मा जान्छ. सो यो फिटल सर्कुलेसन मा चाहिँ के चेन्ज भयो त? फिटल सर्कुलेसन एउटा चाहिँ लंग्स मा सप्लाई हुँदैन. बेसिकली हाम्रो जो एडल्ट मा जस्तै आर्टरिजले हाम्रोमा चाहिँ आर्टरीले सप्लाई गर्छ, भेनले चाहिँ एक्सट्र्याक्ट गरेर लिएर जाने हुन्छ हैन. सो बेसिकली यो चाहिँ अपोजिट हुन्छ फिटलमा चाहिँ. So changes in after birth चाहिँ के हुन्छ त? So यो सबै कुरा त birth पछि त बस्दैन. So basically umbilical arteries like closer for initially चाहिँ umbilical arteries like के हुन्छ त हैन? Umbilical arteries चाहिँ डेलिभरी हुने बित्तिकै चाहिँ कस्तो भने क्लोज हुन्छ. टु डेलिभरी इनिशियली कोल्याप्स त भइहाल्छ नि umbilical arteries हैन. So 2 to 3 days मा चाहिँ पुरा क्लोजर हुन्छ. So umbilical artery चाहिँ के भएर बन्छ त? त्यो बस्न त बस्छ तर umbilical ligament भएर बसिराख्छ त्यो फ्युचरमा. Right? And superior distal चाहिँ umbilical ligament भएर बस्छ, superior चाहिँ superior vesical arteries. अनि umbilical vein चाहिँ occur within 1 week, okay? So umbilical vein is converted to ligamentum teresis, and ductus venous जुन liver बाट निस्केछ that will become ligamentum venosum. Now ductus arteriosus जुन directly bypass भएको थियो lungs मा के रे descending aorta मा जान, it soon after birth हुन्छ हैन, functional चाहिँ. तर पछि चाहिँ pulmonary function for establishment of pulmonary function. So anatomical closure चाहिँ 3 months मा हुन्छ. These are also very important for MCQs तपाईहरुलाई. And fetal mind यो topic मा सबसे important कुरा भनेको fetal circulation. You have to, these fetal circulation is frequently asked question है, एकदम important छ यो तपाईहरुलाई पछि सम्म पनि, not only now, throughout your MBBS पछि पनि एकदम important कुरा भनेको fetal circulation है.
Ma'am त्यो functional closure र anatomical मा फरक चाहिँ के हुन्छ?
फङ्सनल चाहिँ तपाईँको अब पल्मोनरी फङ्सनको लागि मात्र पुरा क्लोजर हुँदैन के, जस्तै एब्सेन्टै हुँदैन, जस्तै लियर मात्र बसिरहेको हुन्छ होइन। त्यो पल्मोनरी फङ्सन स्टाब्लिस डेलिभरी पछि क्राई गर्छ, क्राई गरेपछि त्यो सबै क्राई गरेपछि त पल्मोनरी त फङ्सन त स्टार्ट हुन्छ, त्यसको लागि चाहिँ इनिसियली फङ्सनल मात्र क्लोजर, त्यो एनाटोमिकल हुने एब्सेन्टै भएर जानु कि त्यो अब्लिटरेटेड भएर जानु चाहिँ 2-3 महिना लाग्छ। त्यही भएर कसैलाई चाहिँ कुनै कुनै बच्चाहरूको आफै पनि कुनै पनि कन्जेनाइटल हार्ट डिजिज पछि आफै ठिक भएर जान्छ भन्छ नि, त्यो चाहिँ यस्तै कुराले गर्दा हो कि कुन चाहिँ कतिको चाहिँ 1 to 3 मन्थ्समा आफै क्लोजर हुने भएको कारणले गर्दा कुनैलाई चाहिँ 1 to 3 मन्थ्समा क्लोज हुने यस्तै क्लोजर हुने कारणले गर्दा चाहिँ कतिको कन्जेनाइटल हार्ट डिजिजहरू अब वेट एन्ड वाचमा राखिरहेको हुन्छ कि। ओके, यो एनाटोमिकल चाहिँ 1 to 3 मन्थ्समा हुने भयो है। सो अन फोरामेन ओभल भयो जो चाहिँ हामीलाई यो पनि एज आई सेड फङ्सनल क्लोजर आफ्टर बर्थ एन्ड एनाटोमिकल क्लोजर आफ्टर 1 year। ओके, कसैको फोरामेन ओभल त अझ पर्सिस्टेन्ट पनि भइरहेको हुन्छ, जसले गर्दा पछि यस्तै पेसेन्टलाई अलिकति बच्चालाई फिटसलाई अलिक डिफिकल्ट हुन्छ होइन, अलिक डिले क्लोजर भयो भने अलिक डिफिकल्ट हुन्छ। ओके, सो हजुरलाई यो अहिलेको आजको क्लासमा चाहिँ धेरै एमसिक्युज रिलेटेड क्वेसन पनि छ, दिस भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट है। अनि फिटल सर्कुलेसन चाहिँ तपाईँहरूको लङ क्वेसनहरूमा एकदम आउने, एकदम अहिले मात्र होइन पछि फाइनल्सहरूमा पनि तपाईँहरूको एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट कुरा हो ल यो। नाउ ओके ओके, आई थिङ्क सक्यो जस्तो लाग्यो है, रिपिट भइरहेको है। ल यहीँसम्म हो आजको क्लास। सो तपाईँहरूलाई चाहिँ यो जुन फिटल सर्कुलेसन चाहिँ तपाईँहरूले एकदम राम्रोसँग याद गर्नु, अनि त्यसपछि बेसिकली अरू चाहिँ एमसिक्युज रिलेटेड हो।